It's a new day and it brings opportunities for a fresh start. Welcome to the Wake Up Nigeria show, your number one family breakfast show.
There's a reason why we're number one in the city, and yes, it feels good. Sorry, scratch that. There's a reason why we're number one in the country, and yes, it feels good to be. I didn't go anywhere anyways. Super excited to definitely help you start your morning right.
You put it nicely and you're correct.
Yeah,
hey, if you don't blow your trumpet, who else will? We're bringing you all the artsy Thursday editions that you have missed in one show here today. Welcome for a Feel Good Thursday. I normally say that on Fridays, but welcome to a Thursday edition here. And of course, you know what you're going to get. You deserve it.
Yes, of course. We have everything checked on our list for amazing music performance to inspiring arts display, book charts, and so much more.
Plenty, plenty. So you guys should stick around, okay? Have we been on the show together this week?
No.
We haven't, so it's the first time I'm seeing you this week.
Yeah.
You were here yesterday, I wasn't here yesterday.
Yeah.
How was that yesterday? Was it good? Wednesday?
Great.
No traffic? Nothing? All right. Was it good?
My Wednesday was perfect.
It's different out there today. If you're using the third axial road, it's going to be very, very tough for you if you're heading outside of Lagos. If you're not already out now, then get ready for some picnicking inside of the car.
Or better still, just stay in your house.
Now, if you got to go though. But hey, it's going to be tough. But don't worry. If you have us on the go, we'll tell you how you can see us even while you're in traffic. We have so much to come in the next 1 hour and 45 minutes. Thank you very much for joining us. Stay tuned. My name, of course, is Mazino Appeal.
And my name is Winfrey. Oh, wait, no. Agbedeshe. You can definitely catch the show live on GOTV. You would definitely find us on Channel 27 and UHF Channel 49.
I don't get it. How does anybody forget their name? I don't get that, but it's all right. Hey, listen. Stream the show live, like I said, from before, tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook as well. And also remember to connect with us. We are at TVC Connect across all social media platforms. You can carry us with you in traffic.
Yes.
If you've got the app, all you need to do is download it. If you've got iOS or Google Play Store, it's free.
Can you please stop somebody in traffic? Thank you. And of course, we begin with book charts. And our piece for review today is titled So Far, So Fuzza, a memoir by Onyi Consola Foza Fawehimi. All right, so she's a music business executive and co-founder of Digital Music, Commerce, and Exchange. Was this right?
And then right after that, we will be having a mini art exhibition with visual artist Ajibola Adekambi, whose venture into art was born out of a need to document shared human experience using paper strips. Now that's paper strip you're looking at there. That's very interesting, very mosaic, very tangible. That's beautiful. Welcome to the Thursday edition. Here it's me again and two beautiful ladies for Wake Up Nigeria. You guys are gonna love this. I don't get one thing. How do love scams work? Who falls for love scams? How do people make money out of love scams?
Desperation.
Because there was this social media thingamajig post about a lady who got arrested for defrauding an American for, I think, $220,000. That's a lot of money in Naira. But I'm like, how do you fall for such a thing?
Desperation.
Who is desperate? She's desperate, or the guy who's falling for her?
Who is sending so much money?
And why?
Oh.
What do you get in return?
Wait, okay. What did you get? What?
What do you get in return? I mean, she's here, you're there, you're sending her money for what exactly? In hopes that you're
Well, whatever she's asking for the money for. Maybe for photos, hopes of visits. I mean, not too long ago, I actually saw a post on social media. Same thing. He literally sends this babe money to come and visit him, and she doesn't show up. And then he's literally cussing her out via chats because, I mean, she blocked him after receiving the money.
But you'd be surprised how many people do it, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, very regular,
Are you talking
normal
from experience?
people. No. See, my heart is like, as in, even before I got married, I'm not that gullible, I think is the word.
So that's the idea. I think they make it is believable, right? So, I mean, you start the conversation. Of course, it seems like a normal person you meet, and then you continue the conversation. It seems like, yes, you have something, I mean, a connection. And that's when it comes, that's when the money...
I would like to know the strategy and the gamification, how it works. So you have to, first of all, tell the guy, and then how he... I think if you put that to better use, you could make plenty of money. Is what I think. I don't know.
Wow, are you encouraging it now?
No. I mean, so I say that because I had a friend who always used to, I think I've said that before on the show, who always used to call up and ask for money. And I said to him, you know, you can put this to better use. Because he was very, very, very
Persistent.
persistent, consistent at it. So I introduced him to a guy who worked for a loan company, and then they got him as a loan retriever. Is that what they call those guys?
Okay.
And he's doing good now. What he does, he just harangues people for their. Sorry, Mr. Muiwa, you're owing us 45,000.
That's good.
Should we come and collect it today? Goes to people's offices and stuff like that.
That's good.
So that's putting your talent in quote to good use.
Oh, well, talking about that, let's see what the weather is going to be about later.
And you're welcome. Let's do the news. Now, this week, the Federal Executive Council, chaired by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, has given approval to the Ministry of Works and Housing for the augmentation of 2 existing contracts for Ikorodu-Shagamu Road at the cost of 6.972 billion and 2.577 million naira for Potiskum to Damaturu section of Kano to Maiduguri Road. The Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, also disclosed that the council approved the construction and rehabilitation of 11 federal roads, totaling 737 kilometers across the country under the NNPC Limited Intervention Agreement. The council also approved a bill of the amendment of the nation's labor law to be in concurrent with international labor standards. Now, Minister of Labor and Employment Chris Ngige says the process, which started in 2001, has led to the enactment of several bills which are yet to be fully passed by the National Assembly.
2 kilometers, they've completed over 20 kilometers, which has been open to traffic. So council approved a 6.972 billion augmentation for them to complete the road. That was one. Fourth and final one is the approval for the construction and rehabilitation of 11 federal roads, totaling 737.242 kilometers.
Approval, to seek council's approval for us to amend the labor laws of the country. The labor laws of the country, as presently being operated, are really obsolete laws. And the ILO had pointed that out, that we need to bring our laws to be concurrent with international labor standards and conventions and principles at work.
Federal government has declared Friday, April 21st and Monday, April 24th as public holidays for Muslims in the country to celebrate the end of Ramadan fasting. Minister of Interior Rauf Aregbesola made the declaration on behalf of the federal government, according to a statement by the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Interior, Shuaib Balgore. The minister wishes all Muslim faithfuls a happy celebration and asks them to imbibe the virtue of kindness, sacrifice, among others. Mr. Aregbesola assured of government's commitment to the provision of security for the life and property of every citizen and foreigner in the country. Now, 2 teenage boys have been charged with murder after the shooting at a 16th birthday party in Alabama that killed 4 and injured 32 others over the weekend. Now, T.Y. Rick McCullough is 17 and Travis McCullough, 16, were arrested on Tuesday night, police said. Now, authorities said the suspects are each being charged with 4 counts of reckless murder and that more charges are coming. They said they expect the pair to be charged as adults. At a press conference on Wednesday, officials told reporters that these were the very beginning stages of the investigations into the shooting on Saturday in Dateville and offered very few details. No information was given about a motive for the type of firearm used. Police said that among the 32 people injured, 4 are still in the hospital and 4 remain in critical condition.
Thank you for staying with us. My name is Winfrey Agbelishi, and it's time for us to take some newspaper headlines. Today, I'll be starting with The Punch. And for the major headlines here, we have insecurity. Local rice price jumps to 200%. Rice price soars from 173 naira per kilogram to 521 naira per kg under Buhari, despite government's intervention, NBS report. Rice farmers, producers, experts blame rise in inflation, insecurity, others for rice woes. We have that on page 19. Moving to the top of the paper now, above the masthead to the very left, we have Buhari returns avoid Sudan airspace. We have that on page 29. Adamawa poll, police warned against cover-up. We have that on page 2. FAAC allocation drops as federal government states share 715 billion naira. We have that on page 19. And scrolling to the bottom right there, where we have the image of a burnt BRT bus. Lagos mob burns BRT bus as driver dies in crash. We have that on page 5. Very sad story. And below that, to the left, we have El Rufai raises the alarm over insecurity ahead May 29. We have that on page 20, page 2 and 30. And of course, for Ogun, we have right beside that, Ogun father chains starves 2 children to death. We have that on page 4 and 5. And that's all we'll be taking for the Punch right now. Moving quickly on to the Nation. And for the major headlines here, we have why Buhari didn't intervene in Adamawa poll crisis by government. At the top of the paper to the left there, we have Iwanyanwu is Ohameze's president. And to the right there, we have acting LP chair rejects suspension by party NEC. And to the right of that, we have Buhari to appeal judgments voiding Arame's removal. And that's all I'll take for this particular paper because it's quite unclear. So I'll be moving on now to the Daily Trust. For the major headlines here, we have high fertilizer prices threaten wet season farming. And above the major headlines there to the left, we have 40 days to go. Buhari's government approves 1.535 trillion naira for 11 road projects. And to the right of that, we have banditry, 308 killed, 746 kidnapped in Kaduna in 3 months. We have that from the report. We have Tinubu ask police to probe Adamawa election controversy. And scrolling now beside the image there, to the left, we have death toll hits 151 as Lassa fever spreads to 26 states. We have that on page 21. And we have 3,298 inmates on death row correctional service. And below that, we have Buhari returns from Saudi Arabia as Sudan crisis forces flights rerouting. And that's all we'll be taking for the newspaper headlines. Thank you for staying with us. We have fitness coming up.
And you're welcome. It's time for What's Up and About. Mostly it's everything that we find on social media and we want to talk about it. So very interesting entry. Why are you smiling like that? It's cute, don't get me wrong. Okay. Nurse MJ, or Proud Nurse MJ, has this on Twitter, I think. She says, I used to think I can't sleep without having the lights on until I entered the UK, got my own apartment, and the first energy bill hit me. She says, no wonder everybody lights candles at night. I thought it was just for aesthetics. The day I mistakenly left my heater on and went to work, when I got back, it took everything in me not to cry. The only one I can't adjust to is water shower. Imagine a colleague shocked at the fact that I shower every single morning and night. Like, I don't get it. Little wonder it's stinking in the buses and on the trains. They don't shower every day because it is the water bills. The water bills are no jokes. So I told that to you this morning, and you were like, your response was, I was referring to all the bills that you pay and the fact that you actually pay plenty, especially in the UK, as against maybe Canada or the US.
Yeah.
But what was your response again?
My response was simply that we do pay all those bills and taxes here. I think the only difference is that because there is cumulative. Here, we pay them in trickles.
Every day.
Do you understand? Every day. You buy fuel. I mean, you buy a gen, you buy fuel, you service a gen, you pay for security, your guide, all of that stuff and all of that. So as much as, yes, and we still pay taxes here. Do you understand? So there, everything is collated, they send it to you, and it's like, right? But then again, if you think of all of that, even think of the money you tip people on the road to help you push your car when it stops
I never thought about
and all of that. So that's honestly how I interpret it. So when people say, oh yeah, when you go there, the bills will hit you, I'm like, okay, fine, let the bills hit me, but let me understand what the bills are for, and let me enjoy that. So yeah, simply.
Emma, do you share the same opinion?
Well, not everyone actually pay the same amount of bills. It depends on the area of Lagos that you live in, or let's not even talk about other parts of Nigeria, right? Because I mean, we all know that if you're to compare the standard of living in Lagos cost of living in Lagos to other parts of
Abeokuta, for instance.
Exactly.
It's like cheap.
Exactly. It's very affordable, right? But if you are living, so for example, Agege or Mafuluku. They're not going to pay the same bills that someone living on the island is going to pay. I mean, and
But
then
you
as
pay
you go
in another
further,
kind,
and then
is how I
as
see
you
it.
go further into
Crazy.
the island, the bills increase because, I mean, you're paying for basically luxury.
So I think it's the awareness bit here that people are that shocks people, like, because when you go outside the country, people expect everything's going to be all swimming and everything. Oh, nice! There's power. There's the services like getting to work, buses, the trains, and
Yeah,
all.
but then again, you're
You
paying.
don't realize that at the end of the day,
You're-
man.
Yeah, you're paying
When it hits you,
for-
it hits you.
Yeah, but then if you're to compare how much you spend, for example, taking a train to the office.
It's
or
actually
to
rather
work,
cheap.
It's very cheap.
Exactly.
It's very cheap. So the things that you're actually paying for is your
Utilities.
the utilities, which heater, for example,
Yeah.
when it's very cold during the winter season,
And
you
it's
really need
absolutely
it.
necessary.
So and it's very necessary. So these are the things that are available to you. So if you want them, you pay for it.
Otherwise, you can just simply live like a Neanderthal.
Better still, you move to another part of the world that's not going to take.
Like, yeah, so if you had
And
the
I think
opportunity-
everything,
much
I think in
forward.
everything, there's also always a balance, right? So we're talking about living in Lekki and living in Mafuluku. Now, the security in Lekki, it's not like it's anything.
It's the
to be
same thing in
honest.
Mafuluku,
It's not,
I beg.
I promise you it's not. I stay
Okay,
I stay in
okay.
an area
I agree.
where
I agree.
there are certain type of people on this side and on this side. And we always know whenever we have situations like, for instance, the elections, they have to lock certain gates permanent.
So you're on the good
Same
side.
thing happened when I was in Lekki. So we have like estates here and estates here, estates here. Do you understand? And then, so in the end of everything, I think somehow, if what you evade this way, you get it another way. Then, please, can we zoom in on the bathing situation?
Yes, so that.
Can you zoom?
No, so that I didn't know that was going to be a
Thing.
factor or a thing. Actually, I find that very, very weird.
Really, what's weird about that?
I can't go
That's
to
a-
bed without taking a bath.
Yeah, but then there are
The
lots-
weather there is
a lot
different.
of, it's
Oh
different,
yes,
exactly.
I must. Yeah, I had this experience once outside the country where after 3 days I looked at my fingernails and they were still clean, and I'm like, but I've been up and about, nothing's happened. So it's actually very, very.
You don't perspire as much when you're
Yeah,
here
you
with
don't.
the weather compared to when you're
So
here.
it-
and
and
then the
it
dust,
feels-
the atmosphere.
It feels like the air is filtered, basically,
Exactly.
so it doesn't cause all of the things. So, if, for example, go out in the heat now, you will sweat. Everywhere will be, you
dust
know,
from
yeah.
all the
But so
bull
you
wears
need
and
exactly, and then if you're taking public transportation, jumping from one bus to the other, like of course you need to shower.
Yes.
Wow.
But yeah, that also happens over there where.
I'm not looking forward to that. That's all I'm just going to say.
Right.
But yeah, well, you got to do what you got to do. Got to expend what you got to expend. Spend money on. Thank you very much. Tell us what you think. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC if you have an opinion that you want to share, or if you don't take your bath every day, tell us how you manage it. Let's know your routine.
You rub
so
and
that-
shine.
so we will be getting ready for Canada and the UK with your samples. But in any case, stay tuned. We've got more coming your way.
And we are back. Thanks for staying with us. With me in the kitchen this morning is Chef Ben. You're
Good
welcome.
morning. Yeah,
Good
thank you.
morning.
Thank you.
It's always a delight to have you here with us.
Thank you very much.
This morning, Chef Ben will be making rice and creamy
Creamy
chicken
chicken, yeah.
sauce,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Oh, great. I love anything that has cream in it. So please run through the ingredients for our recipe.
Okay, here we have our rice here. We have parsley, onions, we have butter, we have garlic, we have chicken here. Here we have black peppercorn.
Okay.
Yeah, we have salt, cubes and thyme, paprika,
Okay.
and ginger powder
Okay.
with the cream. And of course, my vegetable oil.
Vegetable oil, great. And I see that you have some, I see radish in here.
Radish? That's mixed lettuce.
Oh, mixed
Yeah, that's
lettuce.
and we'll get
Why does
this
this
and
look
carrots.
like radish?
That is not radish.
Okay, it looks like it's.
Yeah.
Okay. And what did you do with the chicken here?
Okay, of course, I marinated the chicken with the cubes, paprika, and ginger and garlic paste.
Okay.
With salt, thyme, and a bit of black peppercorn.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are we
Rice.
doing? So kindly explain the process for the chicken,
Okay,
creamy chicken
first-
for us.
First, you have to grill the chicken
Okay.
with the pan
Okay.
and bring out the chicken. Then you use the stock to make the creamy sauce.
The stock to make the
Yes,
creamy
yes,
sauce.
exactly. That's
Okay.
nice, yeah.
All right. This looks like a very interesting recipe. Now let's talk about alternatives for the cream we're using. Because this is heavy cream, right?
Yeah.
So what can we use if we can't afford a heavy cream?
Okay, so sometimes we don't have the cream. You use coconut milk.
Coconut milk, okay, that's a good
coconut
option.
milk is also a best alternative for this.
Okay.
Then in the area then that you don't have coconut milk, then you can use milk powder and liquid milk to mix it together to get
Oh,
and-
so it gives
yes,
it that thickness.
yes,
Okay.
and egg whites together. You mix it, the raw
Okay.
egg whites. You
Oh,
mix it together. Yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah, so-
Now that is a hack for you watching at home. If you know to get your heavy cream, to get that same consistency
that
of a
thickness,
heavy cream,
yeah,
for
yeah.
that thickness, right?
yeah.
You make use of. Tell them again. They need to hear you say it
Okay. you
once
mix
again.
Your powder milk, your liquid milk.
Okay.
And you add
The egg whites, not the yellow, not the yolk.
one. Yeah,
the egg
whites.
whites.
Then you
Okay.
Put it together till it becomes thick.
Till it becomes thick, and then
yeah.
you use it. But then again, does it not give it some sort of egg particles or taste, right?
No.
It doesn't?
Yes, it doesn't.
Okay.
Because it's raw. You're not cooking the egg already.
okay.
You're just putting the raw egg white.
Just the
and beat it
okay.
together, yeah.
All right, that is one trick I definitely want to try out. If you're just joining us, with me in the kitchen this morning is Chef Ben, and he's making rice and creamy chicken sauce.
Yep.
This is quite an interesting recipe. I can't wait to try it out. It's another option for your stew. And if you missed out on the ingredients earlier on, it's right there on your screen, guys. Yes, so that's it. I mean, we have our salt, garlic, and I like the role that the garlic plays, in all of this. Garlic has a certain, taste and aroma that it gives to your, sauce,
dish, yeah.
to whatever you use it
Yes,
for,
very
right?
essential, yeah.
And let's not also forget that it's packing on a lot of ingredients as well. So we're starting with our rice, or we're starting with the chicken sauce? Which of them are we doing first?
We're gonna need both the rice
Okay.
and water.
Okay, so first off, we're going to steam our rice, and then we are going to get cooking on our creamy chicken sauce. Can't wait, guys. But hey, while we're prepping things up here in the kitchen, let's head over for some book chat discussion.
Okay, so it's Thursday, and on Thursdays, we actually do like to do a little book review here and there. And today, the book in review is actually none other than So Far, So Faza, a memoir by Onyi Consola Foza Fawemi. Welcome to Wake Up Nigeria.
Hello. Hi, guys. How are you
So I
doing?
told you earlier that I like your vibe. Very chill, very relaxed. No
I'm
stress.
trying out this rich auntie vibe.
Wow, okay, how's it going? How's it going for you?
It's a lot of billing.
There's a lot of billing.
Yeah.
All right, that's why it's rich in front of the auntie.
I do, right.
Amazing. So you have put together this book, and I think it's quite interesting because, I mean, when I say it's difficult, especially in this climate, to actually find young people putting out memoirs of themselves. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I think I'll start with, let's talk about you before the book, right? So what were you about? And then at what point did you come to the realization that, you know what, I need to document my life story?
So I'm going to define who I am, right? My name is Fawemi Foza Oyinkosola.
Sorry, what's Foza?
So Foza is, I wrote about it in the book, but
Yeah.
Foza is Fawemi Oyinkosola Zidat Adesola.
Oh, okay.
So basically, Foza means strength also. For me, I am a cultural architect. I'm a creator of wealth. I am focused on creating wealth for African creativity. African creators, and my part of doing that is entertainment law.
Okay.
So by training, I'm a lawyer and focused and specialized in entertainment law. I'm one of the best in the continent.
Speak it, girl.
Yeah.
Speak it.
So basically, I've spent the last 10 years of my life in entertainment. I've worked as a manager, worked as a PR person, worked as everything that has carried people's bags, and I just clocked 30 in February.
Oh, nice.
So for me, it was just like, I finished school like 19, got into university at 14.
Wow.
So it was like, for me, I was just like, all right, I'm always thrown into this leadership, into this trailblazing situation all my life. So it's like, I need to talk about it. for me.
Okay.
So basically, that's who I am
So
as
that's
a
who you
person
are.
and what I do.
Okay, amazing. So now, somewhere in the book, you actually did write your story. I think the chapter 1, right, Daughters of Patriots, and it speaks about. I think there's one that catches my eye is when the bubble burst, where you actually encapsulated the losing of your dad and how that literally changed a lot, right, when it comes to you. So can you throw more lights on that?
So my name is Fawemi, and if you know that, the first question they usually would ask you is, "Oh, are you related to?"
Yes,
And I'm always just like, yeah, but my dad was. I always had to, like, my dad was a military man, and he was quite senior in ranks, and he fought like the Civil War, all that, and whatnot. So I grew up understanding that my dad was the guy.
Yeah.
You know, so when I became more conscious, and the first thing everybody would say is, "Oh, are you related to this other guy?" You know, it really used to piss me off. So, you know, that chapter was basically just dedicated to the kind of man my dad was, which
Okay.
extremely special human being.
Amazing.
And unfortunately, I lost him at the age of 11.
Oh, wow.
And one of the things I was angry about for the longest time was that I remember, like, before he died, he literally told me, I was like, "Don't worry, I'm not gonna die. I'm never gonna die," because he was quite older and we're the last set of children.
Yeah.
He was like, "Nah, you know, you're so confident that he was never gonna die." And in my mind, I was like, "This guy is a superhero."
Yeah.
Then, like, a month later, he dies.
Oh, wow. A month later?
Yeah, and he dies without, like, putting his house in order, because you know, he's a polygamy. He had like 2 3 wives, and you know, there was no will.
Yeah.
And we're thrown into that. So I lived this bubble, you know, where the night before he died, we're speaking. I was like, "Yeah, you have to get this generator by PS this, PS that." I spoke to her at 11, and by 7, there were like 5 people in the house saying, "Oh, your dad is dead."
Oh, wow.
You know,
Wow.
and before 1 p.m. we were out of the house. Like, they came and took everything.
Whoa. Wow.
So yeah.
Crazy.
So bubble, that chapter
Yeah.
basically just spoke about how your fortune turns, and what do you do with it? Do you wallow in that, or do you figure it out?
So what was your take?
I think for me it was just how my mom responded. My mom was the ultimate baby girl. You like, you know, when I see like younger women, I feel like they're soft. My mom was the softest, you know, baby girl ever. Like, she never used to go to the market. Like, everything. The only
Everything
thing,
was sorted.
Everything was like sorted. The only thing was like she just looked good, and she had 3 young kids. The eldest being 11, and that happened. And I saw my mom go from soft to like, she was putting like 7 jobs.
Wow.
You know, so for me, that was the inspiration. Like, all right, like, I don't have to wallow in this. I just
Yeah.
take my situation and figure it out. So,
Figure it
yeah.
out. Amazing. So now moving to chapter 2, we're talking about the journey of Forza, right? So now the whole journey, let's talk about the broken pieces. What was that? So what's the Forza story?
So, I mean, for me, it was like, I was already in secondary school before my dad died. I think it was in GS3 when he, you know, and at that point, I was dealing with a lot of things, right? Dealing with, you know, the body problem, you know, like, because I was very small and skinny. At that time, all my mates were like already in puberty, and I was just looking like everybody, like, what's going on? You know, so those things started adding, like, you know, then my dad died, then it came with a lot of rage and anger, you know, towards the family, towards the world, towards God. And I realized when I was writing this book that I never really, you know, treated those emotions. So those pieces just came one by one, and created this image. And Foza became like an escape route, right? For me dealing with what was actually happening.
what's going on.
And people loved Foza. You know, Foza was this shouty, you know, be on the table, social person.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just comfortable in that space.
So would you say it was like a sort of charade to what was really going on?
It started as that,
Yeah.
you know, and it ended up now being this refined, you know, character, you know, and now like now finding a way to balance with what the original person now is, you know. But Foza came from also the peer pressure of everybody had cool names and I didn't have. I was either DJ Skinny or DJ Spaghetti or some stuff like that. So, you know, my friend came up with the name I wrote about it in the book, and that's how the character Foza was born.
Okay, amazing. I think it's actually something very brave that you have done as a young lady, actually deciding to put this together, being so vulnerable to tell her story without any limitations or restrictions. So now what would you say is the ultimate story, the ultimate message you want to pass with this particular book?
I think it's the story of resilience, right? It's like tenacity and vision. For me, it's just basically like you're not too young to do anything. I almost didn't put out this book because everybody was like, "What have you done? How old are you?"
So,
Like,
yeah.
But then again, I'm like, who write these rules? Like, who says that?
I think we're on the same.
Yeah, like who says that you have to work 24 hours before you make money?
True.
Who says that you shouldn't take care of your mental? Who says you shouldn't be emotional? These are the things that I face, right? They're like, oh, as a woman, you're too emotional, you can't lead, And I had feats of being the first female president, first this, first that. I'm like, who's writing this rule? I really hate the rules that the social rules that we just put on ourselves. I always follow everything that is legal. As a lawyer, you have to. But it's just like, for me, it's like, don't be conformed to the rules that don't fit you. We're in a new world, right? You write your own story.
Yes.
And I was just so confident. I was like, if this book flops, yeah, that's it. I did it.
You did it, right? It actually makes a whole lot of sense. Because you actually mentioned the fact that, we as Nigerians, we got to read a lot of self-help books, right? But written by foreigners who don't understand what it is to live right here in Nigeria and share our story. So it only makes sense that we have people like you writing books like this that people can actually learn from and literally, gather strength from. It makes a whole lot of sense. Thank you so much for being here. It was definitely amazing having you here. I wish you all the best with all, and the book will sell.
Amen.
All right, guys, that's all we'll be having right now on Book Chart, but so much more to come right here on Wake Up Nigeria.
Ben is cooking up a storm, literally. He's been so hard at work. But hey, in reference to the tech news earlier on, I particularly love the robots. They're so cute. It's so cute. And yes, he actually looks like Pinocchio. Okay, moving on to what's happening here in the kitchen. Chef Ben is making steamed rice with creamy chicken sauce.
Yeah.
Chef Ben, can we run through the ingredients once again?
Okay, so we have our parsley, onions, garlic,
Okay.
butter. We have cubes, seasoning cubes,
Okay.
paprika. We have corn, black pepper. We have thyme. And we have our chicken here.
Okay,
And we have the cream.
great. And then we have our rice already in the
Yes,
pot
yes,
cooking.
yes.
Okay, now we're about to make our creamy chicken sauce, right?
Yeah.
Great.
This is the process.
Okay, so now that we have our chopped onions in there, what's next?
Next thing is garlic.
Garlic. Oh,
Garlic is chopped garlic. As
I
well.
love garlic.
Yes.
There's a certain, I feel like your garlic can go without, there's no garlic without
Ginger?
your creamy, no creamy.
Okay.
Your cream, your heavy cream. I
Yeah.
feel like they go very well together.
Yes, they do go together.
Okay. So now that's in there, what's going
so
in
you
next?
add your chicken.
Okay.
Your grilled
Tell us
chicken.
again what you did to the chicken.
So I marinated the chicken.
Okay, with
and
what?
With salt,
Okay.
ginger and garlic,
Okay.
with thyme, black pepper, and paprika,
Okay.
and seasoning cubes.
Great.
So
Now that it's
after
been
that,
grilled.
you
Okay.
pan-grilled the chicken, and after that, you set it aside.
Okay.
And when you are done with that, you
Okay.
saute your onions and garlic,
Okay.
and you add the chicken.
You add your chicken
Yes.
to it. Your already grilled chicken.
Yep.
Right. Okay, that looks good. Ooh, look at that juice going in. Nice. So,
So you
how?
leave it on fire for now,
Okay, for how long?
for maybe like 3 minutes.
For what?
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
This looks like something that I'm definitely going to make this weekend.
Yeah, sure.
Right. Away from the regular stew, let's, do something different.
Yeah,
and the
sure.
kids are absolutely going to love this because they like anything that has cream in it, right?
Yep.
And chicken, of course. Okay.
While doing that,
What's next?
you cover it.
Okay.
If you notice, I've not added any water.
Oh, why?
It's the stock that is coming out that I'm using to cook for now.
Okay.
So later on, I will add a bit of water.
Just a bit of water.
yeah.
When does the cream go in, though?
Yeah, maybe after I've added some of the spices.
Okay.
Maybe like 2 minutes before you bring it down.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so the cream is the last thing that goes in.
Yeah, and the parsley.
And the parsley to give it that extra flavor.
Flavors, yes.
What about the butter?
The butter will go in also.
Okay.
Yeah, but not now.
Okay. Well, we're keeping you abreast of everything that's going on here in the kitchen, of course. This is Chef Ben, and
Yeah.
he's making steamed rice with creamy chicken sauce. This is, a better alternative. Well, not better, but it's a good alternative for your rice and stew, So just an interesting way to, enjoy your rice. And you said something earlier on about another way to make your heavy cream, if you cannot afford the heavy cream. Yeah. So he said earlier, you just have your liquid cream, your evaporated milk, and your egg whites, and then your powdered milk, and just mix it all together to achieve your heavy cream. And so while we're getting things, sorted here in the kitchen, let's go on a quick break. It's the top of the hour, people. You don't want to miss what's next. Stay with us.
Welcome back. We definitely hope you enjoyed the first hour of the show. It's now time for the main event. So buckle up and get ready as we create more memorable moments right here.
There's a main event. I thought the entire show was a main event. It's all good. Yeah. All you have to do is just be part of this. Or sit right back, enjoy the next 45 minutes. It's designed just for you people.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't forget, it's still our Artsy Thursday edition. So we've definitely got amazing content still to come your way.
Yes, it's what's happening inside the kitchen today that I'm
Quite distracting.
very distracting.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that Chef Ben's gonna make it like for 8 people because I don't like it when it's for one person, our last guest.
I know
please
from
tell
the
me.
aroma, we all can't wait to dig in when it's done. But hey, Chef Ben, well done. So much love going into that meal right there.
Nah, there's not so much that's going in there. It's just little pieces, like for 1 or 2 servings. We want like for a party, Chef Ben. It's all good. Anyhow, my name is Mazira Appeal.
And I'm Winfrey Ekbaleshe. Make sure you do check the show live on GOTV. You will definitely find us at channel 27 and UHF channel 49.
Yes, and you can also stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv, Facebook, and also you want to have the app on your phones or your devices. All you need to do is download them. It's on Google Play Store and on iOS.
Visual artist Ajibola Adekombi, whose venture into art was born out of a need to document shared human experiences using paper strips. How are you doing this morning?
Very well, thank you.
Good to have you.
Yeah, it's good to be back here.
Okay, your work is fascinating, I must say. Using paper, wood, and so many other recycled materials. Fantastic. Great. Now, let's quickly talk about this one here on the couch, because, this was the first one that got my attention.
Okay.
You have to actually look closely to realize that it's actually paper, manila paper, that you used in creating this artwork here. Talk to me how long this took to create this.
Now, this took me 2 days to make.
2 days?
Yes, 2 days.
And how did you come about the idea of using papers to, create art pieces?
Oh yeah, the origin actually was when I started art. Basically, I had difficulty getting the materials that I needed, so I had to make use of the things that were available at that point in time. So that was just it.
Okay.
So I had to make the best of it.
Okay, I want you to quickly tell me what was going through your mind at the time, because a lot of artists are known to use either pens or pencils, to create their artwork. So what were you going through at that time, when you transitioned into using materials to actually make art, actual pieces?
The main thing for me was that I wanted to do art, but I didn't want to do something usual, like the regular thing.
Regular thing.
So I'm not used to doing the regular thing, so I tend to push myself to the boundary and just let me just see what I can do differently.
All right. Talking about pushing yourself, I am particularly fascinated by this, a talking drum, but it's made in an art piece, like it's beautiful. Talk to us about the materials that you used in creating this.
Yes, this I used paper and fabric basically, so that's a matte.
Is that paper?
Yes, paper.
Like everything?
No, paper and fabric.
Oh.
So the entire structure is made of paper, so the fabric is just the beautiful parts. That's just the fabric.
You're joking. So I actually thought it was wood.
No,
It
that's
loo-
Manila
So
car.
how did you create the drumstick itself? Because like, how did you get it to stand, like to fit properly on the drum itself? I mean, it's made of wood. It looks beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I'm blown away by it. Talk to me. I mean, like, how did you get it to
No, that's the magic,
That's the magic.
That's the magic.
Okay. Okay, now let's talk about the other art piece by the table over there. What inspired that particular artwork?
Okay, when I was making the artwork, I was thinking about the situation whereby you are at some point in your life where you are at the edge. So you're at a point like a brick, make or break point.
Okay.
So the title is Edge of the Universe.
Edge of the universe.
Yes, so that's like a tipping point. So in one way, you feel like, wow, this is amazing. Yet you could still trip and fall. So it's a kind of delicate situation, yeah, but it's actually a very amazing feeling.
Now let's talk about some of the revelations that inspire some of the work that you do, because I hear that sometimes artists like go on a journey, and in that journey of finding themselves and they're creating beautiful art pieces. Talk to us about some of those journeys that you have experienced and some of the revelations that you've been able to bring to life through your art pieces.
Okay, yeah. Because my story, my art journey began as as a creative urge, basically. But eventually, due to the experiences I've had in life, with failure, success, and all that, so that's actually what shaped my art into what it is.
Okay.
So, like for example, I have a series I'm working on right now.
Okay, what's it called?
It's called Love and War.
Love and War.
So it's based on okay, it's painful, but I had a breakup recently, so so it's prompted me to make a nice artwork. So I started doing that in collaboration with one of my friends,
Okay.
my very good friend, Dokas Azan.
Okay.
So yeah, hopefully it's actually very interesting, because one thing about art is that there's no boundary, so you keep pushing and pushing. So there's no limits at all.
Okay, I'm looking at the screen right here. I see some very beautiful art pieces as well. Look at that one. That's a beautiful vase. This one I really, really love. Talk to us about that one.
Oh, that's called Makoko.
Makoko
Yes.
in pieces. 'Cause it looks like a puzzle that you're trying to put together.
Yeah, it tells the story of an environment where that's neglected, basically. Whereas much could be achieved, much could be gained from such environments if the resources, the humans, the kids, the children who are over there, if they can be honest. So that's the story.
Oh, that's beautiful. You created that one.
Yes.
What did you use? What did you use?
That's as a real trumpet.
Oh, okay, okay. But I particularly like the box underneath.
And that's
the
the case.
trumpets.
The case.
Okay, what was that? What fabrics are those?
That's imbroglio.
Say that again.
Imbroglio.
Imbroglio.
It states whereby you are confused, like you have so many things to say, yet you're unable
You
to
don't
say
know how
anything.
to express it, and you just put all of them together. Fantastic. That is absolutely beautiful. Now, quickly, let's talk about this particular artwork here. The ones you used with wood, looks like wood scraps. Talk to us about that.
That's incursion.
Say that again.
Incursion.
Incursion.
Yes,
Okay.
basically. So that's like a situation whereby something different, like something new begins to encroach the environment. So it could be positive or negative, but it depends on the particular state of mind you are in at that point in time and how you intend to handle it.
Now, let's talk about some of the responses to your artwork, because they're pretty distinct, right? Let's talk about some of the responses. Has it been good? Has it been positive? Has it been lucrative?
Yeah, what? I have to be sincere. Art in Nigeria is not as appreciated as it ought to be. But the reality is that since I started, initially people dismissed my works as craft.
Okay.
But now, the reception is amazing.
Oh,
because when people see it, one thing about me is that when people see my works, I'm annoyed when people just praise the talent. But wow, this guy is creative. No, what do you really feel about the art?
Yeah, you want every artwork to
That's it.
speak to every
So,
individual.
but the moment the more I learn, the more I grow, the more I'm able to express myself, the better it is for me.
I see the passion in your work, and I'll say well done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence this morning and your beautiful art pieces. Wishing you all the best.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us because we already started the interview without you guys. Apologies, sorry, because we couldn't help ourselves. Joining us for a chat now is all-round filmmaker who has played several strong characters in both film and theater. He's best known for his role as Kazeem in Gangs of Lagos. I mean, hey, let's welcome him to the studio already. He is here with us. I cannot believe it, but we have Mr. Olakule in the building. You are welcome. But me, I know you as Kazeem.
It's okay. That pass. I know that name is going to stick with me for quite
a
some
while,
time,
right?
but it's okay.
Wow,
You
man.
can call me Kazeem.
No, don't worry. Don't worry.
Or call me Elenion.
Elenia.
One of men. Yeah, one of men. That sounds more like it.
Good to have you here, man. And so soon after the release of Gangs of Lagos, so I bet you we're going to be talking plenty about Gangs of Lagos. But first of all, I know that it's not the first time I've seen you on TV or in movies. You've been in plenty of Yoruba movies from before, and also some English movies as well. You are a veteran, quite frankly, in the movie industry.
I'm a young man. No?
No, veteran doesn't mean, it means you've been there since for a very long time.
Yeah, I've been there for a bit, for quite a bit.
But everybody seems to be talking about you now. But let's hear about you from way before we get to the now.
I don't want to bore you, but I'll tell you.
No, you can't.
It's a long story.
Okay.
So I grew up in Abeokuta, and I wanted to do veterinary medicine.
Oh, nice.
But my parents didn't want to allow that, because I'm from a very large family.
Okay.
I have four boys, 4 girls. So the 4 boys were born first, and the 4 girls came later. I don't know what my dad was looking for, though. I'm the 4th boy. And my 3 other brothers were science students. So when I said I wanted to do veterinary medicine, I haven't been exposed to a lot of animals by my mom especially. She kicked against it.
Oh, wow.
And so as a revolt, I said, you know what? I'm not going to do what you want me to do.
They wanted
I mean, she wanted me to do banking and that kind of thing. I mean, I'm like, I don't fit here. If I don't do this veterinary stuff, what the next best thing I can think of is art.
Yeah.
Because I was very good at writing then, and we're doing what they call performance poetry now. We used to call it poetry recitation in those days. You know, and I've been infusing a lot of characters into the poetry rendition and all of that. So, and she said, I can't do that. I said, okay, no, Allah. So I was shuttling in between commercial and arts classes. Then fortunately, they brought my dad was a soldier, so they posted him back to Lagos. And it was Alive around. So I did my work. The result didn't come out. So I told my mom that, I want to go to NCAC, National Theatre. That I want to go and start from scratch to learn how to, dance, act, and do some. She said no. No problem. So somewhat, I'll find my way. I'll run from the house, go do rehearsals, come back. I used to steal her money back then.
Nah, we all did.
No, it's okay. So at some point she caught me. Said, okay, this is because you know where I keep my money, so she stopped giving me money. So I tried to look for ways to make money. I did a lot of some manual jobs to get money to go for rehearsals. And that was from 96. I trained at NCC from 96 till 98. So my first major performance was in 99 when Ryan Bonke first came to Nigeria.
Yeah, I remember that.
So, I mean, we rehearse, do this, and eventually we performed. And I was paid 5,000 naira way back then. And the money was so huge. But because there was a lot of stress, mosquito bite and all that, the money, my sickness, I used and treat last. Down the line, down there, I haven't done that. And then from church, I was doing a lot of dramas and stuff.
You got into movie when?
I got into movie in 2006. That's when I started doing movies. But before that time, I was already doing theater shows all around, from National Theater to Global Memorial Hall, and all those places.
17 years in the movies.
Yeah, that's
wow.
But then, it doesn't quite come off like that, because in 96, my first movie then, what's the title now? I always remember it, because I look like one scroungy little And they said I should play policeman. Because the director now was like, you are good, but you're too small. Where am I going to put you? This is that. So I hid beside one tree. The name of this film now. Femi Ogedegbe was in it.
Who was in it? Who was it?
Femi Ogedegbe.
Okay.
So I shall carry gun. They put red cloth. In fact, by the time the film came out, it was only the red gun, the gun that showed.
Did he show you that? Let's not use that.
Because the producer was like, no, this guy looked too small. There was no way I could fit in then. So I continued with my theater. And then I got into school to do diploma in theater and film in Lagos State University, where I finished in 2005, thereabouts. Then I went back straight to theater.
Wow.
So started with theater at Terra in 2007.
That's quite a journey, as in a very long journey from there up until now. I mean,
Definitely a journey. So now let's talk about the journey to Kazeem. Any need to go
build up to Kazeem.
To Kazeem. Now so a lot of people, myself inclusive, literally believe that you embodied that character too well. They are wondering, is there
experience
something
behind it?
You should tell us that we should really not know.
So there's something I always tell people. I'm not a motivational speaker. But the best thing for an actor to do is to be. The worst thing for an actor to do is to try to be. Because when people who don't have certain things try to live certain lives like they have, we call them fake. But when people try to be themselves, hey, they are real, they are original, yeah? Which was what I gone for when I got the call to come and play Kazeem. Mind you, casting was already done.
Okay.
I came in as a last
option.
Yeah, because the director kept on saying that she wasn't convinced with the person that was supposed to play it. So I came in like 3 weeks before principal photography. So there had been rehearsals and all of that. So when I got the call, I read the role and I saw, okay, this guy is like this. So for him to be able to grow into this Elenian from that street Kazeem, there's got to be a lot of sacrifices to be made. And then I asked myself if I was ready. And this was like a mayor mark for me. Make yourself or kill yourself, because it's been frustrating trying to break into film as a theater actor. It's been quite frustrating. So I went to the market. I went to learn how to
be.
I sat down with butchers, learn how to kill goats, learn how to roast it, learn how to dissect and split for sale. I sold at the market.
That's method right there.
I sold at the market. And at some point, people will come and say, we should see you on TV now. I say, man, go chop now.
Exactly.
And those were the things that propelled me. And fortunately for me, the person under whose tutelage I learned happened to be someone who came from Ibadan, Sale Meet in Lagos. And there were some similarities between him and Kazeem. Even though I didn't know what I was doing then, but I took quite a lot. I took quite a lot from it. It wasn't easy, but
I'm going to deliberately try and remember that your name is Rotimi. I'm going to deliberately try, but it's very difficult. I'm sure a lot of people are also going to struggle through this. But Rotimi, now, at the beginning of Gangs of Lagos, your character was just there. Nobody knew that it was going to be such a big factor, a big character at the end of the movie. You embodied the character from when he was a young person up until when he was rather advanced and also the head of a gang. That process mustn't have been easy to first of create a character in people's mind that this is some, one of the boys, and then to transcend through the movie into that big character. How did you manage that transformation inside of the movie? From that butcher guy you learned from, the Ibadan guy, to who was your case study for Kazeem?
I'm not going to mention it.
And you don't need to, don't worry, we already know.
But I'm going to tell you, like that particular person I mentioned, it wasn't just the only one who came to Lagos at that point. So there were a couple of them. And one of them today is one of the strongest men in Lagos. That's why I'm going to mention him. One of the strongest men in Lagos. And so I did my research based on that, because for him and that person, it's time and chance. He was the one who brought this person and taught him. But later on, this person is more advanced. I mean, is well known, has more money than him, but he's still doing
So this is a true to life process. People
For me,
actually
yes.
graduate in
Yes.
that
Yes,
form
for me,
through
yes.
the ranks in life, like
Yes.
so,
Yes.
in the culture we're looking at.
Yes, basically. And then so having learned that, I now had to do like what I call character breakdown and the trajectory of how the character is going to progress. From that boy who sent by Olorogun to go to the street and collect money, you know, to that man who grows up to become brutal,
Yeah.
to become, doesn't take shit from anybody, you know, give it to you as it is. So it was that growth process. It was a bit difficult.
Yeah.
It was a bit difficult because I don't know how many actors will tell you that it is not easy for an actor to actually grow like that
The character arc, yeah.
Yeah. So for me, but I was able to pull through because of the street experience that I had, because of that on-field experience that I had.
Yes.
That was the only chance that I had to pull that off.
That actually makes a lot of sense. To me, it just seems like everything, your life experience, is just aligned for this particular role.
Exactly.
It actually makes total sense. I love your hats, by the way. It brings me to my next question. Do you know the question? You're laughing.
Oh,
Why
I
is he
see it
laughing?
now.
It brings us
on
to
the,
the next
oh, now I
question.
get it.
So we definitely know the controversy and things happening based on the story of the movie, based on people. I mean, the youth of a particular group literally sending a letter and all of that, talking about the depiction of the Eyo, as we know it here in Lagos, and then the story told in the movie and the way they were depicted in the movie. So now, from your point, I mean, you were on the project, you were one of the people.
You're a major,
major
major
you
character,
literally, exactly, and all of that. What do you have to say?
So first and foremost, Eyo is a beautiful masquerade.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, and there are 7 of them. And one of my uncle used to be the Olori Eyo Eti, one of the Eyo in Lagos. And I know, there's nothing like I do not think. I know that the intention from the producers of the film was not to portray Eyo in a bad light. What we are saying is that people hide under the guises of these things to perpetrate evil.
Yeah.
It's just like all these headsmen, the Boko Haram, how they will go kill Nigerian soldiers, take on the uniform and impersonate them.
Yeah.
So when they go to attack, you think
Impersonation,
that
that's the
word.
it
That is
is
what's
the
happening.
Nigerian army or this and that. It's the same thing that under the guises of these things, people hide and they carry out evil.
Yeah.
That is what we're saying. The movie didn't say it was bad. If actually people take time to listen to the narration by Obalola, you will know that the Eyo culture in Lagos is one that is rich and is one that is respected. But unfortunately, as in real life, people hide under these things
Yes, it's true.
to carry out evil.
Perpetrate evil.
Yeah.
Sense.
Thank you for bringing that up. That's very beautifully put. I wanted to ask now, there was a call for the producer and director to make an apology. Did you think that was necessary? He breathes.
Maybe not an apology, maybe clarification
Clarification.
and explanations, because we are what American films, and
Yeah.
we've seen where people, some top government officials in the White House are portrayed as being evil. Sometimes the vice president directly, bossing White House down and all those things where people come into the White House to do a lot of things. I don't think that the filmmakers will have to come out to apologize. Some of it's just saying that these things are there. It happens. Now, can we look for a better way to prevent those things? I think that should be what we are talking about.
Yeah.
That should be what we are looking at, and not seeing it in the other way as if everybody's just trying to, or we are trying to say that Eyo is bad, or
Yeah.
does this, or does that.
Amen.
Amazing.
Before we take inside the kitchen, because we've been preparing something very delicious,
Lord.
specifically the kitchen we're coming, I wanted to make 2 notes. First off, one of my best scenes in the movie was at the latter part of the movie when it was revealed that Kazeem was actually the murderer of, what's his name from?
Balala's
Balala's
father.
father.
Balala's father. I thought that the way that it was revealed, the way you carried up, was fantastic.
True.
And then my ultimate best scene was the barbershop scene. The way the gun came out with that red cloth and the detail in it. Because in the beginning of the movie, there was a bit of, I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it, but
That's one of my best scenes, actually.
was beautiful.
Because
Well
the
executed.
dialogue exchange between myself
beautiful.
and London, I don't know
Yeah.
I don't want to call him persona,
Yeah.
it was beautiful. And like I always say, it is good when actors feed off each other.
Yeah.
True.
Like when I have something to feed off an actor, or an actor has something to feed off me, this is beautiful. And that's why that came out. Like
I will
that.
tell you something. That red cloth at the end of the gun, came full circle.
As in, should I be going?
Because in your very
Should I be
first
going?
year,
Yeah.
they didn't show you. So this time,
Yeah,
this red cloth is me.
Everything.
Tell you what,
Amazing.
let's bring you over to the kitchen, man. Come on
Oh.
over. We've got something very fantastic for you. You're gonna love this. Meet Rotimi. Do sit, please. This is gonna be delicious.
See you, right?
No, are you good? You good? I got you. I got you.
What did you say?
Come over.
You
Now,
are such a phenomenal actor. You are phenomenal, Rotimi. Welcome to the kitchen, Rotimi. This is Chef Ben, and this morning he's made for you steamed rice with chicken cream sauce. So quickly, would like you to dig in. Maybe as Rotimi or Kazeem, but yeah, you let us know.
I see you know this kind of thing.
Of course, I know.
Maybe as Rotimi,
As
I'll just
Rotimi,
try.
please.
And I'm not a
Enjoy,
breakfast person.
enjoy.
As well.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, God, have mercy
real
upon
quick,
you.
I know. Please.
we're almost
enjoy.
out of time, so let's have a
Quickly,
taste.
quickly.
Let's see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Chef, nice one, man. Beautiful. Looks good already.
Yeah, it does.
Nice.
It does. It does.
Already, what do you think? Thank you very
What
much.
does that mean?
Rotimi faculty in the
thank you.
building.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal actor here. Good to have you as well, Chef Ben.
Thank
But
you
I'm
very
not
much.
happy because, okay, there's more. Fantastic.